Starting to the bottom right of the map, the Terran player for Team Axiom-Acer with 2 wins so far in this team match. Can he get another all-kill today?
Axiom Young.
Up against his second Protoss opponent. Taking down Tacita in the last match. Now he's up against the Protoss to the top left of the map. It is
NS HoSeo Mad Bull.
Mad Bull, man. You know what they say about bulls in red? They picked Red City. He's ready to charge.
He's ready to charge. That's definitely true.
He also is spawning as red. Maybe he's just really into red.
He's actually like surprisingly... He's not really like really good at English, but surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Congratulations, guys.
Oh, wow. That's definitely a great way to spend your honeymoon.
Aww.
For sure. That was pretty cute. Yeah, congratulations. Emma Watson and Scarlet, I don't know what that symbol in the middle means. But Scarlet doesn't seem to agree.
And Scarlet's first thought is dodge.
Like, I was thinking, I'm like, at first I saw, I was like, divided by Scarlet? And I'm like, oh, is that equal? I don't know what that, maybe I think that's supposed to mean similarity.
Yeah. Equals. Alright, guys. Game number 3. Ryung versus Mad Bull. Can he charge in again? And will we see him perform another one of his ceremonies today? Or is Ryung just once more unstoppable and takes down another player? The guys on the Axiom-Acer bench are already a little bit edgy. They want to play.
Yeah.
Ryung, we told you. You can start, but don't take them all.
Well, Ryung's like, I already told you I'm going to take them all. You know, he's going for a gas opening here where he has this reactor, so he can go Reactor Reaper. And this is something that's already, of course, scouted by Mad Bull. He needs to, of course, repair accordingly. Going to get that Mothership Core out. Makes Nexus first before the Mothership Core in this case, because he didn't want to get eBay blocked.
Do you know what we also see? Double Reapers now with a reactor. And if he just builds Reapers and Reapers, that is actually dangerous. That is very underestimated by people. If you don't scout that there's a heavy Reaper commitment, that can cost you the game.
Yeah, and I think the reason why he went Mothership Core after Nexus is just because he didn't want to get eBay blocked. Otherwise, he definitely would have made the Stalker first.
And Ryung doesn't go for the gamble. I would have loved to see something like this, just him trying to pull it off. That's always really funny if it like works, but he goes into Marines, he plays the stable.
And the probe wants to verify that it's Reapers. Of course, as Ryung wants to verify there's no proxy. So, you know, a win for both players there in some sense.
Yeah. Well, the +1 attack upgrade really fast for Ryung. With this early engineering bay, he cannot go into an upgrade heavy style. He's building, of course, the CC on the low ground in this case, and with the double Reaper, he is guaranteed to get into his opponent's main base. Maybe even guaranteed a few kills now that the Stalker is in the middle of the map.
Yeah, this Reaper opening is so good for scouting. Probably not going to get more than 1 kill, if even that, since the Mothership Core is here, but he's going to get 1. And not much else to be done here. Second probe is going to be attacked.
Yeah, but he needs to wait for the combat drugs to actually kick in and heal that Reaper. The Stalker is already walking right into that small Marine force, and oh, Mad Bull!
How mad is he? That's the question Stalker's asking right now.
Not mad enough just yet. He's not ready to charge yet.
No, not quite. That Stalker was ready though. Did not work out so well. Robo is done here, and this Reaper gets caught in the middle of the map here. Could actually take the Stalker down with both of them, and I think he will. There's no way the Stalker escapes. He just kills it.
Yeah, Stalker is going down here. Bye-bye, and oh god, is that annoying. Now he loses the Stalk. What?
I like this. I like this a lot, but he has to hope that Ryung doesn't see it. As if Ryung sees this, he just bunkers and starts to attack it. Obviously, you can't photon overcharge a Nexus that's not complete.
Mad Bull has mad cow disease, I think. He's going completely rampage here.
Is he mad?
Yeah, he's mad. I mean, look at that. Oh, there comes the Scout. But with that expansion, I mean, that base is doomed now.
Photon overcharge to protect the natural, but the Reapers here and the Marines should start to attack that Nexus. He walks away.
Mad Bull is just a little bit crazy. This guy is insane.
Yeah.
Going for a 640 expansion on this map right now, and Ryung, I did not expect him to simply walk away. I thought he would at least try to put on a little bit of pressure, but I think he's just going to hit a later timing here.
He didn't have an SCV with his army. I think if he did, he would have tried to bunker it and would have held on to that location for a little bit longer. As it is, though, Mad Bull gets away with it for now, and he starts the Bay.
The question is for how long? When will Ryung try to hit? Robotic Space, second Forge also coming in. No, first one, right? Yeah, first one.
And, uh-oh, Reaper's going to get in here. Will they actually see? It looks like he just wants to trade for probes. He's distracting while he goes for the third. Now he commits to the attack. 2 sentries and 2 stalkers. He needs a mothership core as well to hold this off.
We don't have Stim ready just yet. I think that's the only reason why Ryung is currently walking away. He certainly has the Marine numbers, but he just doesn't have the Stim yet. He doesn't have the combat shield. So these are all things that he wants to have before he really commits to this and fights the army. He needs, of course, to hit this before the first Colossus is out. If the first Colossus is out, then Mad Bull is safe for a certain amount of time until Ryung has his air units out there. Namely, of course, a couple of Medivacs so that he can start to replenish the hit points lost, and Vikings to pressure Colossi.
Yeah. This is looking very good for Mad Bull right now. Ryung needs to do something right now, and with the Mothership Core having enough energy for a Photon Overcharge, whichever base Ryung picks, he's not going to be able to really do much damage to. He can't split either because he doesn't have combat shields ready. He has a very small Marine army. He needs a lot more tools before he can really pressure, and he's losing so much time right now. His command center is only halfway done.
Yeah, Mad Bull is definitely getting an economy lead in this game. He's getting the range upgrade now with the Bay. He's going into the additional gateways. And the more time passes, the safer this expansion will be, the safer the position for Mad Bull is going to be. And he will get a huge edge over his opponent here. So the advantage, or one of the advantages that Ryung definitely has, are his upgrades. That's where he's still ahead. But once that third base is completely saturated, we will see the second Forge and then the double upgrades.
Yeah. The armory coming down here also probably adds some Hellbats and not only the +2 too.
Yeah, but actually this timing is a little bit off to get the +2/+2 because he's already on 1/1 and he cannot start with the next set of upgrades.
Ryung scans and he sees that army is relatively small. There's only 1 Colossus. The second one in range will soon to join. He just has to make sure he does this right because he doesn't have combat shields yet. He's about to. He has to wait for that. If he goes into Colossus with no combat shields, it's going to be a slaughter.
This is now the moment in time where Ryung has to do something. Oh god, a warp in the main base already. He's just waiting for those Medivacs to appear. And the second Forge is now also being built as expected. Once the saturation on the third is there, he's going straight into double Forge for the upgrades. He needs to drop a few additional pylons. He's heavily supply blocked now.
The 2 observers on the map for Mad Bull are spotting everything. He needs more than just 3 stalkers. He's going to have to warp more units if Ryung commits. And he does. He boosts in here. Where's the reaction from Mad Bull?
He cannot warp in. He's supply blocked still.
He's still supply blocked indeed. He's going to lose some pros, which will allow some warp-ins, but he needs more than just 1 Zealot.
Colossus walks in and tries to help out with this. The Photon Overcharge is also there. The snipe on the Forge.
And the Mothership Core looks at may go down as well. Barely saves it. That's at the natural during all of this.
Yeah, doesn't have the stim that he can use to, the blink that he can use to chase those down. Second, Colossus is moving in. Mad Bull definitely... Ah, nice. Snipes one of the Medivacs after all. He loses the Forge, he loses the upgrade, but at least he did not suffer too many losses with this.
Yeah.
I mean, a few Harvesters were taken out. In total, he lost 10 in this game, which is definitely unfortunate. But given that lead in economy early on, it's something that he can compensate for.
He is massively ahead right now in this game. Insanely so. He's even doing some aggression with some Zealots over here. Just trying to keep Ryung off his back. He will actually probably target down some of those mules. Yeah, he gets 2 of them. And may even get a 3rd one.
No, the only reason why not even more goes down here is because those units were already in position. He kills another SCV, kills the mule too. Those upgrades really coming through here. You know, this is what we see right now, even if he doesn't win the game, but this is the reason why I would have preferred to see Mad Bull before Tacita, because this is just a very solid play. This is not just hoping that the Oracles do the damage. This is him from the beginning going into the macro game and trying to say, I can do this, and he's getting that lead now. With 150 supply, he's supply block again, but he has 5 pylons coming up. That's a lot of warp-ins that he has available. His charge is nearly completed, his +2 armor is on the way, and Ryung, he has to be quite careful here.
Yeah. Temple Archives coming out, he's going to be able to pour that gas into it. He's got, by the time that Archives finishes, he might have around 1,500 gas, so that'll give him plenty for researching Storm and also making a bunch of Archons. This is a really, really good position for him. He needs to make sure he doesn't get too cocky with the Zealot run-bys, because throwing away 500 minerals here, 600 minerals there, eventually against a good player who's good at defending, like Ryung, might actually start to take its toll on you.
Yeah, Ryung is not Byan. He actually defends.
That's so true.
He defends his third base. Byan had huge troubles in the GSTL season because his third was always exposed to Zealot run-bys, and that definitely took a toll on him. But Ryung is doing a really good job with keeping a few units at the third base to work against these run-by attempts. 5 additional gates were coming up now, plus 2 armor is done. Going into the attack upgrade, we'll probably add the 3rd armor upgrade as well. And of course, we have the High Templars now gathering up energy.
Really sneaky attempt here with these Zealots. He made sure he walked all the way around Ryung's paths. He's going to trade against anything that spawns from these barracks. Forces a stem by Ryung and a turnaround. He's still going to kill a few Marauders here. And Ryung, of course, loses more time he wants to use with his attack. We need to see Mad Bull drop down a 4th, though.
Yeah. Mad Bull should try to get a 4th, but he's really doing a good job with those Zealots. Even though we always have Marauders to just intercept them. He killed 2 or 3 Marauders, he took down SCVs, he still has a Zealot there to do damage. He's just shifting the focus point of attention of his opponent to the bottom right instead of the top left. Army supply, Ryung is up because he has less workers.
Yeah,
but
20 less.
With Storm coming in now and those 3 upgrades, or 3 attack... Now the 3rd armor upgrade, the attack upgrade is behind because of early on.
Well, here comes the Vikings. They're in a really good spot here. He does not have a lot of anti-air, and Ryung.
Storm!
Those storms are so important here, but he's losing so many of his Colossi.
He needs to snipe those Vikings. Why isn't he sniping the Vikings?
And he's a target. There he goes. But he lost so many of them already, and now so many Marauders left for Ryung to go for the chase.
Yeah, 20 supply lead currently for Mad Bull, but he doesn't have the army supply. He actually could have taken down those Vikings much earlier in the game, and that would have given him a huge lead. A little bit of a miscontrol here by the Protoss player. He still has an advantage. 14 kills on that Zealot wolf.
Yeah.
He still has another Zealot run by in the 3rd base. When did he do that? But
Ryung is starting to mess up with his defense on those Zealots. We saw that one Zealot with 14 kills was just left there by mistake when he wanted to go for that attack.
Ryung is feeling the heat.
But he took out those very expensive Colossi. All those Colossi cost so much money that he lost. And, you know, you lose 6 supply and 3 Marauders. That's very different than losing 6 supply and a Colossus. So it was a very good trade for Ryung in the middle of the map. He just needs to make sure he can stabilize here.
Mad Bull definitely in the last fight with his unit control, not in the optimal position. He could have sniped those Vikings a lot faster than his Colossi are alive to dish out the damage. It would have gone much better for him. Especially since the Storms were really good. They hit so much, not only the bio units, but also did a significant amount of damage to all of the Vikings. But now we have still a lead for Mad Bull. Look at those resources that he has. The Warp Prism really cute here, but intercepted by the Vikings. Bit unlucky here for Mad Bull.
Yeah. Ooh. Catching 2 medevacs potentially. Nice reaction by Ryung. And all those resources you were talking about, that's what he wants to use that Warp Prism for, Zealot run-bys. And he's actually going to engage here. I don't think this is a good idea. Not up against that concave up the ramp. He needs to get out. Yeah. He wants to make sure he's the one who dominates the way the engagements are made, not the other way around.
Yeah, he really needs to make those Storms work. It's once again coming down to the Ghost Micro. The Storms so far are really good. I like this. A lot better than what Tacita has shown us in the last game.
Absolutely.
But if Ryung gets a good EMP, then Mad Bull is in for some trouble. Or the Storm flank, the potential Storm flank here could change the entire game.
So many High Templar ready for the flank, and also the Zealots. He comes in here, gets some good feedbacks on the Ghosts. So many Ghosts going down here, but he has to make sure he controls the rest of his army as well. Ryung's still with a huge army advantage.
Look at that massive bank that we have for Mad Bull. He needs more Zealots to warp in. He is lacking gas, but he has 2,000 minerals. He nearly had 3,000 there for a second. Now going into double Colossi once again.
And so many of Ryung's units are low on hit points. Zealots coming in here for the run by. Ryung, very good at his multitasking, should be able to defend this while he does damage here, but he cannot mess up either of these things. He has to attack properly here with good micro and defend the Zealots. Here they come into the natural.
Yeah. Ryung definitely the one who pressures now, but with those run-bys, Mad Bull has a good chance of forcing his opponent back, and he's chasing the army across the map now. Here comes Ryung making his stand, but we already have the timer being dropped. The focus fire on the Colossi drops the first one, the second one is being attacked.
Where are the storms? There they are. Finally, a bit late though, and already the army is gone. Hellbat had a good position on the Zealot run by, and Ryung has a huge advantage. He's going to use it. He should be able to bully his way up this ramp and take down that Nexus if he commits.
Those minerals, get those assimilators at the 4th base, for crying out loud. He needs that gas.
He absolutely
needs
does.
it. He has so many minerals, but Zealots alone are not going to win him the game. But look how low those units are on hit points. They're
So
not enough medivacs.
low, and Mad Bull is Colossi in an awkward position. He needs to retreat yet again. Ryung getting the better trade. There are a few storms ready, however, on top of that ramp.
The storms, if he can drop them, that would be so important, but the base is exposed. If he's going to lose that, then he will be back on 3 mining bases. He has the gas now taken at the 3rd, but here come Marines running in and sniping those 2 Templars. Mad Bull's unit control is just not good enough in this position.
Ryung is way outmaneuvering him at every turn, but the Vikings here finally forced to retreat. Targets the Colossus down. Good micro from Mad Bull.
Yeah, this time a good micro, better unit control for him. He's still on nearly even supply with his opponent, running in with those charge lots, doing damage. The Colossi in the back doing his best to keep those Hellbats and Marauders at bay.
This is such a close game right now. That Templar gets sniped. The Stalkers want to chase here. Ryung does have to retreat. Remember, during all of this, Ryung is on much less bases. He's really just using his army to bully. But as soon as Mad Bull stabilizes for just a second, Ryung is going to be out of steam. Worker count right now 78 to 51 and still no 4th command center.
Mad Bull's problem really is the experience here. You can see that. He just has problems with his macro.
Yeah.
He has a few problems with his multitasking. That's kind of what I was going for. He has problems just defending against all of this. I love that he has those Zealot run bys, but he needs in the fight itself to have a little bit of a better unit control and keep his units together. How often have we seen a few High Templars just walk into the middle of the Terran army and they were sniped immediately?
Yeah.
But he's sending out DTs even in the base at the bottom right. And this is what I love about this guy, that he always has those run bys in position.
His harassment multitasking is excellent. His multitasking for dealing with the fights, on the other hand, seems to be a little bit lacking. You know, losing all those Colossi like that for free, essentially, is not okay. That depletes your bank so much. You know, that negates the advantage he has on having that extra base. A little drop over here is deflected, but Ryung going for a big push here now at the 4th. Can he snipe that Nexus down? He may go for it.
Ryung is going in, but here comes the Colossi once again. A nice attempted drop on top of it, and he's running. There comes the storm, and that saves the Colossus at least.
This is such a good game we're watching right now. Cutter, both players on the edge here.
Wolf, we have a 40 supply lead for Mad Bull.
He has that army supply lead. Or rather, the overall supply, the army supply lead goes to Ryung, but a DT here is going to decimate this mineral line if Ryung doesn't know, so there's no turrets in play.
He should go into the mineral line, but he doesn't realize that there's a base. He just scouted it for the first time, and Ryung with the map awareness here. He saw that already. Great job.
He saw an invisible unit. I mean, that's incredible. Good micro here on the Colossus. This time it does go down, but he forces those bio units back.
You know what this game just shows is Mad Bull's potential.
Yes.
That's what we see here. Yes, he messed up a couple of times. Yes, he threw the games a couple of times. But still, if he gets a better grasp of how to defend his important key units, his gas-heavy units, then Ryung would be out for the count right now. But in this scenario, we still have Mad Bull with a chance.
Yeah, he's still ahead here in this game overall, but he needs to do something about that base to the right side. His bases are starting to get depleted. He is not traded very cost efficiently this game. He's 4,000 resources lost behind his opponent.
And Ryung is starting to get a hold on those run-bys. He's doing a much better job now defending against the DTs and Zealots that are sent in. Army supply is exactly the same. Mad Bull with so many more harvesters than his opponent. But of course the mules making up for it. Both of them still fighting the entire time here. And the 40 supply lead is still there for Mad Bull.
This is all about a precise game from Mad Bull trying to do these run-bys versus the blunt game of Ryung. Ryung always having a slightly worse economy, but better unit control. He's the one who's better at fighting, whereas Mad Bull seems to be the one who's better at harassing.
Exactly. I mean, Ryung was from the beginning behind in economy. The 3rd base early on for Mad Bull really worked well for the Protoss player. Ryung is not stopping though, and he just shows that he has excellent unit control in this game. Every time a Colossus tries to escape, he just puts a few units into a medivac and afterburns after the Colossus trying to hunt it down. So that is really well done. But also the attempts that we see from Mad Bull to win those fights. Flanks with Storm, everything that he does here. Just his unit control, that's where he's falling a little bit apart.
Ryung is in trouble when it comes to the Colossi right now because he only has 3 Vikings, there are 3 Colossi. You get even counts of those, and even a 4th Colossus popping out, that's never ideal as a Terran. You don't want to fight against that much firepower. The upgrades for these 2 players, still 3-2 and 3-2. Neither of them ever finished those chains. We do have +1 shields, on the other hand.
And he actually forced Ryung back. Ryung is now at the bottom right. Another base being built for Mad Bull. He's moving in with Zealots at the 4th base, and he's going in at the 3rd. That drop is awesome, but still he needs the units at the bottom right to defend. And, well, The unit Kai is, of course, well, a little bit like, let's say, interesting.
That was a bit weird. He targeted the refinery, which he does get. This base, on the other hand, is a little bit in jeopardy. He needs to use... He doesn't have Photon Overcharge, doesn't have enough energy.
He tries to send a few Zealots in to take them out. Here comes
Storms! Storms! And he should save it. Barely saves it here. At least for now, that one Marauder could come back for vengeance.
Yeah, that could come back, and he could take the base down. It's very low on hit points. But here comes again a nice... Oh, look at those storms. I mean, this is just priceless for Mad Bull now.
This is the storm, you know, that's the type of storms he really has been needing this whole game. And Ryung may be on his last legs here because he traded a lot of units to kill that Nexus. He didn't actually finish it off. Now this base at the top is up.
Exactly, the base at the top is up and it's saturated with all those extra probes that Mad Bull has. And now Ryung, he is still fighting like a lion. He is such an awesome player. He's an incredible player. But does he have it what it takes to come back into this game? There are Archons, DTs, there is Storm, there are Colossi. Are there enough Zealots to shield that army though?
This is the question, man. There's so many Colossi here. He needs to make sure his Colossi still fire when he runs away with his gateway units. Otherwise, they're useless here. I mean, 3 Vikings should never be able to chase down 5 Colossi. He loses one.
He loses 2. He might lose another one. Colossi are moving in again. Where are those 20 Zealots that he has?
There they
are the third.
He's going to kill so many units here. He's going for the attack. This may be Ryung's last stand. He's so down on units here. The Colossi eliminating the entire ground army, and I think this is the end.
What a game! 30 minutes already, and Ryung, he just doesn't stop. Mad Bull is going down with a barrage of attacks against the Axiom-Acer Terran player, and Ryung, he holds and holds and holds again, time after time. Has a few units at the top left, and one Marauder is being healed, and he's trying to do his job here, microing his heart out to take down that Nexus, but it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. Photon Overcharge is good. The last of the production here is Camp Storms go down. GG! Mad Bull brings us into a Team League match here. NS HoSeo is not gonna roll over dead.
What a game. What a crazy game. Mad Bull sees red and takes him out.
He's too flustered to do his leg up celebration, I suppose. That was a crazy game. He beat the player who all killed Startail. He beat the player who is...
That's how it's done.
He beat the player who is ahead in the individual rankings by far over the rest of the teams.
Oh! And there's the leg at least.
He's a teaser here, showing the legs.
2 legs up. All right. Mad Bull, that guy. Oh my god, I'm happy for him here. I'm sad for Ryung. I mean, I like both players, but for Mad Bull, this is cool. Ryung was their favorite, and we saw David just take down Goliath.
Yeah. That was an awesome match. Really well played. You could tell that he really has some experience taking third bases on Red City. He held it well, and then just continued to play a good macro game. His harassments were really what won him this game. He never stopped with those.
He has a few flaws still in his game. That's what we saw in this match. But still, he has so many things that he does very well. The harassment that we were talking about, and just overall strategy. Always trying to just keep not only the main fight on attention, but also sending units over to his opponent's bases, sending a few DTs in, never stopping with his entire tech. Got a Fouch snipe, but he made up for this over time. But of course, with the unit control, he has to work a little bit on that. But it just shows the potential of this player.
Yeah, absolutely so. Really excited to see his potential.
Guys, as soon as we have the next player, by the way, we are going into another 5-minute break. But of course, now it's really important to see who comes out second for Axiom-Acer, because Ryung is out. I'm
not even sure who they want to use here against Mad Bull. It's kind of one of those players who you expect that you might run into, but you probably didn't prepare a sniper for. So I think it's just kind of up to them who they want to pick.
I would love to see Scarlet now, to be quite frank with you.
Would be good. Would be good for sure.
Sending a Zerg player out there.
I could see somebody like Hart as well, but the thing is, if you see a player like Mad Bull eliminate Ryung, who's a stronger Terran than Hart, you don't probably want to send another Terran out here anyways, unless he's got some sort of special build plan. Yeah,
I saw that game that he played, Mad Bull played against Dream in the final of the qualifier, and he looked good. He looked good against Ryung. It's Alicia. It's a PvP.
Protoss versus Protoss here, not a bad choice. And this is something that Mad Bull, he went for all the multitasking, all the harassment. We may not see any of that in PvP, as in Heart of the Swarm, sometimes this game is over so fast.
Guys, we are going into a short break, another 10 minutes before we start with the next match. It gives you enough time to have a closer look at Mad Bull's style and his play. Jump on YouTube, go to youtube.com/Caldo.tv. There is the second video, is the first-person video of Matt Ball when he played at the qualifier of WCS. Check that out while we are in our break, and as soon as we are back, we have the match between Alicia and Matt Ball, the PvP, and we'll find out if the Mad God can deliver a second win for NS HoSeo today, or if this one match against Ryang was already his only win today. So see you guys in a few, and then we'll be back with the GSTL Color and Ball.